There are moments in life when the world grows quiet. Moments when your heart beats loud enough to drown out your doubts, and you stand at the edge of something greater than you've ever attempted. Yet in that silence, another voice whispers, "What if you fail?" But I tell you this, failure is not the end of your story. Failure is the doorway through which every true champion has walked. And the only tragedy greater than falling is never rising because we never dared to try. Before we go deeper, take a moment to like comment, share and subscribe. Your support helps this message reach someone who might need it today. Fear of failure doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are facing something important, something that touches your purpose. Winners don't run from this feeling, they study it, understand it, and transform it. The greatest achievers weren't born bold. They simply refused to let fear become their commander. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is worth more than fear. Every fall carries a message. Every setback contains instructions for your comeback. Winners use failure to sharpen their minds, not shatter their spirits. Your potential has boundaries, and fear guards those boundaries fiercely. When you confront the very thing that scares you, the wall begins to crack. Beyond that crack lies your next level. Winners practice resilience. They rehearse confidence. They cultivate habits that support their ambition even when motivation burns low. This mindset isn't gifted. It's constructed day by day. You don't need permission to chase your calling. You don't need perfect timing, perfect resources, or perfect courage. You need only one choice: try again, rise again, believe again. If this message stirred something inside you, if it reminded you of who you could become, please engage with this video. Your interaction helps this motivation reach more hearts. Before you go, drop a comment. I choose courage over fear. Fear of failure is not a sign of weakness. It is a signal that something you care about deeply is at stake. Every human being experiences it because every human being has dreams, desires, and goals that matter. When fear rises, it is trying to protect you, but it can also stop you if you let it. Those who succeed do not ignore this fear. They observe it. They ask themselves, why does this scare me? And what am I risking by standing still? Fear acts like a mirror. It reflects your priorities, your values, and the areas where your heart is fully invested. Understanding fear is the first step toward mastering it. Fear of failure often makes people hesitate, avoid action, or settle for comfort. They convince themselves that safety is better than risk. But the truth is, comfort never produces growth. Comfort keeps talent dormant, dreams small, and potential hidden. Winners see fear and discomfort not as enemies, but as signs pointing toward opportunity. When you feel the pull of fear, it is often the exact place where you are meant to act. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary has stood at the same crossroads, heart pounding, doubts swirling, yet chosen to move forward despite fear. When you face fear, you learn about yourself. You discover your limits and strengths. You realize that courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act anyway. Fear teaches patience, humility, and persistence. Each time you confront it, it loses power over you. Gradually, you start to see failure not as something to avoid, but as a stepping stone, a feedback system guiding you toward improvement. Fear can be a teacher if you allow it to be, revealing hidden areas where growth is possible and showing you which goals are truly meaningful. Fear also connects us socially. Humans are wired to seek approval and avoid judgment. Fear of failure often reflects these social pressures. Understanding this helps you separate external expectations from your internal purpose. It allows you to act authentically rather than in pursuit of validation. Every act of courage inspires others around you, creating a ripple effect. When you confront fear, You not only move closer to your own potential, but also show others that it is possible to rise above doubt, to face uncertainty, and to choose action over avoidance. Winners are not born fearless. They are ordinary people who choose to act despite fear. Fear is natural. It rises in moments that demand courage, when the unknown challenges us, or when the stakes are high. Those who achieve greatness do not eliminate fear. They confront it, they walk through it, and they refuse to let it control their decisions. Courage is not a trait that some have and others do not. It is a habit, a daily choice to keep moving forward when the mind screams to retreat. Every step taken in the face of fear strengthens the mind, sharpens the resolve, and builds confidence that no comfort can provide. Human beings are wired to seek safety and avoid risk. Fear is a product of this wiring, an instinct that has helped humans survive for thousands of years. Yet in modern life, survival is not about physical danger alone. It is about stepping into opportunities, pursuing dreams, and challenging limits. Winners understand that fear signals growth. It marks the edge of their current capabilities. The bigger the fear, the more significant the opportunity. They learn to interpret fear as a guide rather than a barrier, using it to measure the importance of what they are about to attempt. Acting in spite of fear requires both mental discipline and emotional resilience. Winners cultivate these qualities by practicing self-awareness, reminding themselves of past victories, and visualizing success. They break challenges into smaller, manageable actions that feel achievable, reducing fear into a series of steps rather than an overwhelming wall. They accept that mistakes and setbacks will happen, but they do not allow these to define them. Each time they move forward despite fear, they reinforce the belief that courage is stronger than doubt, and action is more powerful than hesitation. Fear also connects us socially because humans naturally worry about judgment and rejection. Winners do not ignore this social pressure. They acknowledge it, yet they place their own purpose above the opinions of others. They understand that true progress often requires going against the crowd, facing criticism, and risking disapproval. By confronting fear publicly, they inspire those around them. Each act of bravery, no matter how small, becomes a ripple in the community, showing that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things when they refuse to be paralyzed by fear. Failure is not the enemy, it is a guide, a teacher, and a mirror that reflects where improvement is needed. Every person who has achieved greatness has failed countless times, yet what separates winners from the rest is how they respond. Failure does not define ability, it defines opportunity. Each mistake, setback, or rejection carries a message, a clue that can lead to growth, if we are willing to listen. Those who succeed learn to interpret failure as feedback rather than judgment, using it to refine strategies, strengthen skills, and build resilience. Humans naturally fear failure because it often comes with discomfort, embarrassment, or loss. Society tells us to avoid it, to hide it, or to view it as a weakness. But the truth is, avoidance only prolongs stagnation. Growth cannot happen in safety alone. Winners understand that failure is unavoidable on the path to success, and rather than resisting it, they embrace it. They study what went wrong, ask honest questions, and extract lessons that can be applied immediately. Each failure becomes a stepping stone, a small victory in itself, because it brings clarity and prepares the mind for future challenges. Failure also teaches patience and humility. When plans collapse or outcomes disappoint, humans are forced to slow down, reflect, and recalibrate. Winners do not allow frustration to consume them. Instead, they take deliberate actions to improve, practicing self-discipline and persistence. Each attempt, no matter how imperfect, builds experience, sharpens decision-making, and strengthens confidence. Failure removes illusions of perfection and reveals what truly matters, forcing people to prioritize effort, focus, and meaningful action over shortcuts or comfort. Socially, failure connects us to the human experience. Every person has experienced setbacks, doubts, and disappointments. Recognizing failure as part of growth fosters empathy, humility, and resilience. Winners not only learn from their own mistakes, but also inspire others by demonstrating that falling is not shameful. Quitting is. They create environments where trying, learning, and improving are valued more than simply winning. Failure becomes a teacher that guides not just individual achievement, but also leadership, collaboration, and social influence. Growth does not come from comfort, it comes from confrontation, from stepping into the challenges that make your heart race and your mind doubt. Human beings are naturally inclined to seek ease and familiarity because it feels safe, but true potential lies just beyond that safety. Every achievement, every breakthrough, and every transformation has occurred when someone chose to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. The most important lessons are never learned in a place of ease. They are learned when you push against limits, when you confront obstacles head-on, and when you refuse to turn back because the path is difficult. Confrontation forces the mind to expand. When you challenge yourself, your brain adapts, your skills sharpen, and your confidence grows. It is in these moments of struggle that humans discover who they really are. The discomfort you feel is a signal, not a warning. It signals that you are on the edge of your current ability, and that growth is waiting for you if you take the next step. Winners see these signals as invitations to rise, not reasons to retreat. Every person who has ever reached a higher level of success has faced fear, resistance, and doubt, yet they chose to step forward, knowing that progress is impossible without challenge. Challenges also strengthen the spirit. Each time you confront difficulty and push through it, you develop resilience, patience, and mental toughness. These qualities cannot be acquired from comfort or repetition alone. They are forged through repeated effort, through trying and failing and trying again. Human sociology shows that people often fear social judgment, rejection, or failure, but confronting challenges, despite these fears, builds not only personal power, but also social influence. Others see your courage and are inspired to face their own obstacles. You become a living example that growth is earned through action, not wished for through hope. The process of confronting what scares you also teaches clarity and focus. When comfort tempts you to avoid risk, confrontation forces prioritization. It reveals what matters most, what you are willing to fight for, and what is truly essential in your journey. Each confrontation creates a ripple effect, expanding not only your skills and confidence, but also your understanding of yourself and your impact on others. Growth is not a reward for ease. It is the product of boldness, effort, and the willingness to meet life's challenges without hesitation. The psychology of winners is not something they are born with. It is something they build every single day through habits, mindset, and discipline. Winners understand that success begins in the mind, long before it appears in the world. Thoughts shape actions, and actions shape outcomes. The mind is like soil. If you plant doubt, fear, and excuses, that is what will grow. If you plant confidence, determination, and focus, those qualities will take root and expand. They practice self-awareness, noticing when fear, laziness, or distraction tries to influence decisions, and consciously choose thoughts that align with their goals. Mental resilience is a skill cultivated intentionally. Winners train themselves to remain steady in the face of challenges. They do not allow failures, criticism, or setbacks to define them. Instead, they use these experiences to strengthen their resolve, sharpen their focus, and refine their strategies. Each obstacle is reframed as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. They understand that humans are naturally inclined to avoid discomfort, but avoiding difficulty ensures stagnation. Real progress comes when you embrace challenge, endure uncertainty, and maintain composure when results are delayed or outcomes are unclear. Habits also play a crucial role in shaping a winning mindset. Small, consistent actions compound over time. Winners create routines that support their objectives, whether it is daily practice, reflection, planning, or maintaining physical and mental well-being. They recognize that motivation alone is unreliable, but disciplined habits carry them forward when enthusiasm fades. Human sociology shows that the environment and social influence shape behavior. So winners surround themselves with people, systems, and environments that reinforce growth, positivity, and accountability. Visualization and self-talk are tools winners use to program their psychology. They imagine success, rehearse challenges mentally, and speak to themselves with encouragement rather than criticism. They train the mind to believe in possibilities before the world confirms them. Emotional regulation is also key. They maintain control over frustration, impatience, and fear, choosing to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Over time, this deliberate cultivation creates a psychological architecture capable of sustaining high performance under pressure, navigating setbacks with clarity, and embracing opportunities others might avoid. Every person's victory begins with one decision: the choice to rise after falling, to try again after failing, to believe in yourself when the world doubts you. Human beings are naturally prone to hesitation because the mind protects itself from risk and disappointment. Society conditions us to wait for permission, for perfect timing, for ideal circumstances. But the truth is that no one will give you permission to pursue your dreams. The moment you decide to take action, despite fear, doubt, or criticism, you claim the power that others wait for. This decision is the spark that ignites change, the turning point where ordinary effort transforms into extraordinary results. The first step is always the hardest. Doubts scream louder than encouragement, and fear convinces you to stay small. But winners understand that hesitation is the enemy of progress. Action breaks inertia. Even a small step forward is more powerful than a lifetime of waiting. Every attempt builds momentum, sharpens skills, and strengthens the mind. Humans learn most effectively by doing, by experiencing consequences, by adjusting based on what reality teaches. Each decision to act becomes evidence that you are capable, that you can overcome, and that your potential is far greater than your doubts. Choosing to rise also means embracing responsibility. Winners take ownership of their circumstances, their choices, and their outcomes. They refuse to blame luck, circumstances, or others for setbacks. They understand that growth and achievement are rooted in accountability. By accepting responsibility, they empower themselves. They transform obstacles into challenges they can overcome, rather than insurmountable barriers. Human sociology shows that people who model responsibility inspire trust, respect, and cooperation. Your decision to act can influence others, showing them that courage and persistence are contagious. Belief in yourself fuels persistence. Every human faces fear, rejection, and failure, but belief provides the stamina to continue. Winners cultivate unwavering faith in their vision and in their ability to learn, adapt, and improve. This belief is not blind optimism. It is a deliberate choice to focus on potential instead of limitation, opportunity instead of fear. Each moment of perseverance strengthens resilience, shapes character, and builds a foundation for lasting success. Choosing to act, to rise, and to believe is the ultimate declaration that your life will not be defined by fear, failure, or doubt, but by courage, determination, and relentless pursuit of purpose.